Try this at your own risk. If you mess your car up, it's not my fault. So same as the last time I tried this quad light conversion, I'm going to use fishing wire to attach the LED rings. I'm not going to have a standoff using pipe on this one. I'm going to put the LED side of the ring facing directly onto the reflective part of the inner lens. It's less noticeable when the light is off when you look through the rear clusters that there's something underneath the red lens doing it this way. So clean up the lens, the reflective part, because you will you'd have touched it at some point. So clean it up. The 2.5mm holes that we drilled earlier, that's where the wires are going to go. So one on the top, one on the bottom. So it goes through there. And goes through there. So get your needle, thread your fishing wire through it, double it up, and then tie on the end of it so it doesn't go anywhere. And start from the back side of it. Put the needle through, thread it up and over the excuse me, up and over the LED ring and back again, and then tie it off. Nice thing with fishing wire, do one knot in it, and then if you obviously try to make it as tight as you can, but then when you tie a second knot, the fishing wire will allow a bit of slip on the first knot so it can tighten itself up, hold it securely. I normally do 4 knots per securing bit that I'm doing, and they seem pretty strong and well on there. So work your way around. I've chosen to have 4 securing points on this. If you want more, go for it. If you want less, go for it, but 4's worked for me.
So beautiful since our family scuba diving trip to the island of Koh Tao in southeastern Thailand.
Okay, Simmons. I appreciate all your preparation.
Don't you want to know which marine life we encountered?
Ward, are you in position? Arms are down. Ears working?
This? Sky?
Something's wrong. Sit tight. I'm gonna go make sure we don't lose that package.
And the finished brake light. Well, side light and brake light. Obviously, make sure the wires go through. Make sure you've not gone over any of the wires with the fishing line and sort of crimping them down, because the fishing line could cut the wires. And now we come on to the reflective lens, which is going to be our indicator for the inner lights as well. So same kind of thing, really. What am I doing there? Yeah, just checking it all works, and also marking, because I want both exits to be on the same side. So just work out where the wire comes out for the brake light, and make sure it's going to go out on the right side of the dome here. Thread again, needle, go from underneath up and through, and then over through that little cutout bit where we made everything line up to, and then tie them off. I found going from the centres, so centre, and then go opposites to tie them up, and it sort of flattens itself down. You want to try to make sure this is as flush as possible with the little cutouts on the sides of the lens of the dish as you can.
Very special savings on these very special LG TVs. Smart and 3D. There's 150 off this 47-inch at $649. And save $200 on this 55-inch at $8.
So the finished result, and as you can, well, hopefully you can see, the LEDs are going to be firing down into the reflective side. So that's the setup you want them. If they're faced the other side, it won't give a very good circle of light. So it needs to fire down and be reflected back out to make it look right. Check it all fits. So both cables are coming out the same sort of area. That's what you want. Well, that's what I wanted. Now, this stuff is liquid tape. It's basically a rubber compound. This is what I'm going to use to just basically put over where we've made those tiny little holes, just to make sure it's all sealed up properly. Give it a good old shake. It's real thick, globby stuff. And when it dries, it is basically a rubber compound. Helps seal it up and make sure it's waterproof, I guess. I don't know if it needs to be, but anyway. So shake it up and just blob it everywhere where you've drilled a hole through, paying particular attention to these wires. So you want to really get a nice seal in there. So give it a good old dollop. When the liquid tape is still wet, reassemble the domes onto them, screw them on, and let them dry with that back reflective dome on it. The liquid tape is not a glue, so you will be able to remove them again. This is me just checking that it all works okay. So again, if you don't have a power supply, a bench supply like that, you're going to have to do it off your car battery. So that works. This works as well, which you'll see in a moment. You can see it's a lot more with it firing downwards into the dome. It's a very complete light. Now, one thing you'll see there, I've got obviously the reverse light side and I've got the fog light side. So the fog light side has got a red lens in it to give you the red fog light, the middle circles we're talking about here. When you indicate through it, it does give you amber light, so the amber LED is not affected by the red filter. However, it is not maybe so apparent on this video, but in reality, the clear side versus the red side is certainly more of a dull colour in its amberness. It kind of shows, I guess, on the screen, but not dramatically. That's something that kind of bugged me. So I've actually you can actually take out the red reflective, sorry, the red lens, the filter of these units, which is something that I started to look into. Now, I've done so many trial runs with various different inner lenses and stuff to get this working. I do have quite a few spare parts around, so I'm lucky enough to be able. I've actually got a rect inner lens, which is the reverse light side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the clear one on the fog light side, so it's the same light output. To remove these things, there's 3 tags. Get a screwdriver in, push the little tags in, and from the other side push forwards, and they basically pop up. So this is the red. This is another inner lens, obviously. Now these reflectors, these filters even, are 2 pieces. So there's a clear piece and there's a red filter piece. So all you need to do to open them up is separate them, which is good. So this is the one that I'm going to use. So both of my sides are going to have the clear lens, and I'm going to use a red LED bulb for my fog light. So it will still be a red bulb, but when it indicates, it will be the same hue. So these things here, if you haven't got the ability that you've wrecked a load of inner lenses and got loads of spares, the top part will separate from the bottom part. So screwdriver in those little notches, wiggle it around and it will open up. It is super glued, so you might need to be a bit careful, but it will open up. So if you've not got spares, all that you're going to have to do is chop this inner red part out. So just basically Dremel that middle bit out, and then that's if, of course, a slight different colour in the amber bugs you. I'm a bit sad like that, and it really, just looking at it, I knew it would bug me in the end. But there is a solution. So chop that middle bit out and stick that back on, and then both sides will be the same. But you will need to run a red LED bulb for your fog light, because obviously otherwise you're going to have white light when you put your fog light on, which will fail MOTs and stuff. Again, if you found this useful, please donate.